I want to give you all a quick introduction to Scratch, let you know what you're going to see when you log in here. So I'm going to start in the top left. You've got the home screen button that just takes you back to the landing page of Scratch. You've got your languages, probably won't want to mess with that. File, it's where you can create a new project or save one. Edit, we'll talk about those later. Don't worry too much about it. There are some tutorials. If you need an idea, get kind of stuck, you can pull up this tutorial page at any time. You can search for different ones if you want. Here's your name. I'm going to call this Welcome to Scratch for you. And you'll click this share button so that you can share it with me. It also lets the whole world see it. But that's okay because there's millions of these things out there. So don't get embarrassed. But give your stuff a title. We'll talk about that more as we go deeper. Project page. This is what everybody will see when you do share it. So you can give a little bit of instructions and you can give a description about it if you want. Uh, we can play the game or whatever you're making video from right here. You can always make it full screen by clicking on that. And I'm going to go back, get back into where I just was. All right, moving across the top, we've got our folder. This is just where all your projects are saved. It's going to load all of my stuff there. There are shared projects, and then there are unshared. Again, I'll tell you this again. You'll need to share things so that I can see them, but you're free to make as much as you want here and not share it if you like. Anything you want to do on your own, you're welcome to do that there. All right, take a second to load. This is your username. You'll have to come up with something creative. It tells you not to use your actual name, so just use a nickname. All right, coming down the page a little bit, we've got our code. Now, this is the bulk of what you're going to use. And it's really similar to what you saw in the code.org, but it's kind of an overwhelming amount of stuff here at first. And we will slowly work our way through all that. So let's just know that there's where the code is. All right, next we have costumes. You're going to see the word costume and sprite used interchangeably. I do not know when you use which one. I see both used all the time. So anyway, when you click on this is going to bring up your different costumes. Notice how the cat is in two different positions here. So we could switch back and forth and make it look like he was walking or running if we did it faster. So you will see more with costumes. That is the bulk of what you do. You make costumes and you make them do stuff. That's how you make your programs. You can also play sounds. So it's preloaded to do the meow. We can change the pitch of that. We can change the volume. We can do some fun things with it. So we will visit that more later. At the bottom down there, you can choose more sounds. There are all sorts of sounds you can pick from. If you wanted to make your cat make a guitar sound, you could do that. Come up with some funny things that way. All right, and costumes. There's a button to add additional costumes or sprites here. Huge library. You can always search through it or choose a category. You'll need to add them all to this column to make it switch between different costumes. We'll get into that more later. So more to come on these three tabs. This is the bulk of your workspace. Moving across, you got the green flag. This starts every program. It's like the run button if you've ever used an older computer. And of course, the red stop sign stops everything. These are the different layouts. It defaults to this layout, but you can change it to where you have a smaller program screen and more programming space. I don't know if those are technical terms, but that's kind of what we're going to call them. What you see in this window is the program. This is what's going to actually be played as a video or a game, whatever you're making. Down here, you can rename your sprites if you want. Choose things that make sense. That way, as you're programming, you can pull them up and you can find things easily. This tells you your coordinates. As you move the cat around the screen, you can see those will change. You can change the cat's size. You can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. I think it limits down to 5, I believe. We'll try that. Yeah, I think that's as small as it'll go. Direction, you can change which way your cat is facing. 90 is where everything usually starts. I don't know if you know much about geometry. That seems kind of weird, but anyway, you can pull up the wheel and move it however you want, or if you think you know what direction, you can type it in, showing or hiding the sprite. And then down here, you can also pull up new costumes. We'll talk about the difference of using this button versus the one over there later. Down here, you can choose your backdrop and whatever you want to put your cat on out in the cold. And there it is. There's a column here you can change the backdrops. You might make a game where you progress through levels. So as you get to a new level, the background changes, things like that. And then coming across here, the on the bottom left, we've got some additional tools, and we will get into some of these. You can do music, you can do drawings, the video sensing. We can actually use our camera to make the program react to us. There are many advanced things on here, but we will play around with, especially with the drawing and the video sensing a little bit. But feel free if you want to go deeper with this stuff to play around on your own.